Hey everybody, welcome back to Beautiful You. Thank you so much for being here. Today I want to talk about what it is that keeps you from facing your fears. There's so much anxiety that people deal with right now, and it seems like it's getting worse and worse as time goes by. Anxiety, someone told me recently, they said anxiety steals so much time. And I just thought that was so profound what my friend said. Anxiety steals so much time. And she's exactly right, it does, because if you look back at whatever it is that you were struggling with and having anxiety over that stopped you from doing what you either had to do or wanted to do, I think in a lot of cases people see that they have ended up waiting far longer than they would have otherwise if they hadn't been gripped by fear from their anxiety. So I just want you to think about today, what is it that keeps you from facing your fears? And it could be that you perceive whatever it is that you want to do as being a lot of hard work. And so maybe you just don't want to do hard work. And that's totally normal. Humans don't want to work hard. Why would we? We already work so hard at our jobs. We have so little time left for ourselves. So then when it comes time that we have to do something that's hard work, even if it's something that we want to do, it's really hard to come up with the time to be able to do it. But if the reason is that it's hard work and that's why you don't want to do it, I want you to try and think about it in a different light. Instead of seeing it as a huge, giant project, just make a basic plan. Just make a basic plan and do a couple steps towards it at a time. And at least that way you will have started working towards it, because if you don't start working towards it, you're never going to get anywhere. And your fears could be also, a lot of times we're afraid of failure, and we don't want to tackle the project because we think that we might fail. And of course you might fail, of course, but how many things in life have you done that the very first time you ever did them, you did them perfectly? Very few is what I'm thinking. And so I would implore you and encourage you to don't let fear of failure stop you. Because if you want to make a change, and you know what to do to make the change and to make it better, don't let fear be the only thing that stops you from doing that. Because I want you to put yourself on the other side of your fears. Like, so if you are afraid to build a deck, right? You really want a deck. You really want to sit outside on your deck and spend more time outside, but you can't do it because you don't have anywhere to hang out there. And so this is a dumb example, I know, but I'm just wanting to be able to explain myself. So you're like, oh my gosh, building a deck, that's going to be really hard. So number one, don't think about building a whole deck. Just, why don't you watch a video about building a deck, like on YouTube, or wherever. Go watch some videos about building decks. Think about who you know that would know how to build a deck and ask them, hey, how do I build a deck? Give me some place to start. If you've done that, but you still haven't started your deck, and you think about it and you think, I think I'm afraid that this is going to be a really hard project and I'm afraid I'm going to fail. And then I'm going to have spent all that money and it'll be a waste of money because I failed. Well, I want to challenge you to think about putting yourself on the other side of your fears, where your deck is finished and you're sitting on it. And I mean, that's a pretty big deal to to think about sitting on the deck if that's what you wanted to do. And I mean, I say it's a big deal because you will have finished the project. So if it is that you're afraid of the hard work or of failure, then there's two things right there that you can do to be able to face those fears. But if you never face the fears, it's almost like we're kind of comfortable in our anxiety. If we don't face the fears, we're already afraid. We are already don't have what we want. We're already living with it. And making any kind of a change from that, we don't know what to expect with it. What will it be? And so it's almost easier to stay afraid. But think about the things that you're giving up. Please think about what you're giving up. You could really have what you wanted if you will just face it. Face your fears. Think about what it is that makes you be afraid. And don't think of the whole project as one big thing. Just pick it apart. Just learn about building a deck. Maybe just go look at wood. Price out, make your list of supplies and price it out. See if there's somebody that can help you. There's a lot of things that you could do that could help you get your deck built. But you can break it down into little tiny steps, and before you know it, you'll be right exactly where you want to be. So I want you to think about what it would be like to be on the other side and looking back at what stopped you. And I think that you will find that your fear was completely unfounded and you can do it. And also, I want you to think about if you started today on this deck, maybe it does take a long time to do home projects because we have to fit them in our schedule, at least I do. So if you work full time and have a family and all the things that we have, and you also try and build a deck, it might take a while, but probably you could get it done in a year, right? So think about a year from now, if you never start the deck and another year goes by, you could have actually completed your deck. But yet, if you don't ever start it, you'll still be in the same position. I think it's important to think about that because maybe it will help motivate you to do it. Don't be afraid. Don't stay in your mind. Get out of your mind and talk to other people about what you want. Because you may find that people want to help you with it. You never know. But if you just stay in your mind, our minds are our own worst enemies sometimes. So get out there, talk to other people about it, and see what you come up with. And I bet you're going to be really motivated, and I bet you're going to get your deck. And these are things that I have found that bring extra peace, joy, happiness, and love into my life because I'm able to do something that I wanted to do. And it makes me feel really good about myself too because I was productive, you know? So please find out what it is that's stopping you from facing your fears and really pick it apart and think about it. And try not to allow your fears to grip you and your anxiety to grip you and paralyze you and keep you from doing the things that you want to do because you're not getting any benefit out of that. There's nothing benefiting you when you let yourself be gripped by fear like that. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you all so much for commenting, liking, subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm gonna try and do better. I'm so sorry that I haven't been on here lately. I've been crazy busy too, so I'm gonna work on it a little more though. Feel free to remind me. Thank you so much. You are beautiful, you. Don't forget.